Welcome back to the Broad Street Benchwarmers podcast. My name is Adam Den. Ethan Leviditis is here with me. And we're here after a rough Monday. Monday Night Football did not go well for our Birds. 23-17 loss to the Seattle Seahawks. And, be honest, there's not much to say.
There's no hope at all.
Yeah.
Not there wasn't any left, but
yeah,
we suck.
We're terrible. We really are. And I think, my point going into this is really that, we were in the same place 2 years ago.
Yep.
We were in the same place last year after that loss to Miami. 2
year competition.
Yeah. And, we're looking at this now. And really, it just gets to the point where, looking at this roster, can you really retain positively?
Yeah.
Outside of maybe Miles Sanders.
Yeah. There is no hope left.
Yeah.
Because linebackers are genuinely terrible. Like, if TJ Edwards and Alex Singleton are your primary linebackers, that's unacceptable.
Yep.
I mean, the safeties are tolerable with Jalen Mills and McLeod.
I would say Jalen Mills is tolerable, but
like, he made a decent tackle yesterday, which is how low the bar is at this point.
Exactly.
But, the secondary, not good.
Yo.
Like, Roby Coleman is a total bust, which is surprising because we thought it would be okay.
Yeah, we thought it was going to be a steal, exactly.
And we cut Will Parks for no reason because it's the Eagles.
And that's what I really wanted to hit on with the first point. Is just that we look at the job Howie Roseman has done, and he's who I'm going to start with as we turn to blame throughout this, depressing loss. But, you look at this roster, it's one of the oldest rosters and highest paid rosters in football.
Yeah.
So where does this go from here?
Yeah,
that's really my question.
3 and 4 years, our line is going to be terrible on offense and defense. Like, Fletcher's going to be gone, Graham's going to be gone.
Exactly.
Malik Jackson's going to be gone. And Barnett's probably going to get a bag somewhere else. Unless Mary Roseman does his classic, just throwing money at people. And then offensive line, I expect Kelsey to retire and Lane.
Soon, yeah, definitely.
And Peters is probably done after this year, so you have to genuinely start
he
prior.
Should be. He's been horrible.
Yeah, Dillard, even though we thought he'd be a steal, has just not gotten on the field. When he's been on the field, he's not been good.
Yeah,
it's very aggravating. And even if we have the 6th pick as projected right now, we know Howie Roseman. We could have had Justin Patterson. We could have had DK, obviously.
Yeah,
and
that later.
And the all-time one is picking Vaitai a pick before Tyreek Hill, but none of us could have predicted that he would be that good.
That good, yeah.
It's just indicative of how, he's only good for the cap.
Yo.
And he's sort of losing that touch right now.
Exactly. With how paid this roster is.
Yeah, Carson Wentz one of the most. I guess I'll say it. He's one of the most overpaid players in the league right now. As far as
I think there's an argument to be made for the most.
Yeah.
Honestly.
Because
you're paying $30 million for statistically the worst quarterback in football.
Yeah. And we were making all these jokes when Jared Goff got a bag, and he's been serviceable.
Yeah. He's not hurting his
better
team.
To be overpaid and decent than overpaid and just absolutely trash.
My real thing is complacency.
Yeah.
And it's the thing that has plagued NFL throughout NFL history. And really, that is the story of post-Super Bowl era, as much as we hate to admit it right now. It is complacency and loyalty to aging veterans, giving them these contracts that, we look at Nigel Bradham.
Yeah.
Just cut. We look at, Jalen Mills, who got a bag before, these somewhat serviceable players getting these massive deals because we did win.
Yeah.
Because
Oh,
it
Alshon
was
Jeffrey.
huge for this city. I mean, I make jokes all the time about the statue, the Philly special statue outside the stadium. We look back at that 10 years from now. I don't know how we're going to look at that with Doug,
Yeah.
bronze in a statue outside a stadium with the way this franchise has been the past 3 years.
Yeah.
And so this is the point where, this team needs to wake up.
Yep.
That's just dead honest. This is not a good football team.
No, there's not we're not gonna, even if we make the playoffs, it's gonna be another 2019 where we just get stomped by whoever.
Exactly.
We'd have no team in the NFC East has any place in the playoffs at all.
Honestly, if I'm looking at the trajectory, in comparison to another team, I'm looking at the New York Giants, division rival. Early 2010s in those Super Bowls and how it just slipped right down.
Mm-hmm.
And Carson Wentz is not Eli Manning.
Yeah.
I'll tell you that much. And so, as much hope as we had going into the season, and as much as, we still have a chance I like our odds. I like our odds at winning this division. I think, the Cowboys seem to be out of it after more injuries to the O-line and all that. And the Giants and the football team,
they're on the
same close games.
Yeah, the same spot as us.
Yeah. But it's the time for complacency is over at this point.
Yeah.
This team has gotten their run. We are due for a rebuild, and this fan base deserves it.
Yeah.
94 WIP, they're on there comparing it. Obviously this is an overreaction, but they're asking viewers, is this worse than Chip Kelly at this point?
It's pretty awful. It's genuinely terrible.
Well, he won a Super Bowl.
Yeah.
We can't.
Yeah.
But at the same time, just the downfall and in comparison to expectations is just pathetic. So
this is so sad. It's like a perfect comparison to the 2010s Phillies. It's identical.
Yep.
Just
the 2010s Phillies had some good runs though.
Yeah.
That's the thing.
I think they haven't made the playoffs in 10 years.
Yep.
Because they paid Ryan Howard a bag. He tore his Achilles or something, broke his leg, some major injury. And now then they threw money at Jake Arrieta. Now Bryce Harper, we could lose JT. But this isn't a baseball podcast, really. But it's identical. We're throwing money at our core.
Yep.
That are generally veterans. I think I said it and didn't hear me, but Alshon Jeffrey genuinely is aging if he's getting major snaps and doing nothing, absolutely nothing.
And we're gonna talk about him later because I have the worst stat I think I could possibly bring up on him.
From a guy who had one of the nicest touchdowns in the Super Bowl, getting that, I think it might have been over Gilmore or McCourty, one of those guys.
Yeah.
To regressing beyond even being a serviceable number 3 or number 4 on a team that has one of the receiving cores in the league.
I guess I'll just bring it up now.
Yeah.
Travis Fulgham.
He's kind of
received 51% of the snaps. 51% of the offensive snaps. He was on the field last night. Do you want to know how many Alshon was on for?
70.
47.
That's
the fact that it is even that close.
Yeah.
Between this young, athletic, what looked like in the first 4 weeks, and the 4 weeks he was great, the best receiver to come out of Philly in the past 10 years.
Yeah.
Compared to this aging veteran who has not even played or it seems like he wants to be here throughout this entire season.
Mm-hmm.
It's unbearable. It really is.
Yeah. He had insane numbers, and he's just been fine. He's been okay.
I agree.
People are kind of overrating him at this point. It's so weird to say Travis Fulgham isn't overrated.
It's overrated. I know.
It's so hard to watch this team on both. I mean, defense is annoying, but the offense is just unbearable.
Yo,
Like Carson Wentz is running for his life, and you tease us with Jalen Hurts for like 3 snaps.
three snaps total.
One of them was a handoff. That could have been a perfect RPO. Like you could
Yo,
have just handed it like a read option, and then he had like a decent throw, and then he was in, and then Carson went back in during the play clock. Yeah, it just shows how incompetent Doug Peterson is a play caller. Like some of just the hero ball has to stop.
I
It's
I don't even
beyond
understand
me.
at this point. I don't. I mean, we look at throughout this season, we've had receptions where we look at it and, he's chucking it up to double coverage but last night, I mean, 215 yards, 2 touchdowns, and a pick. I genuinely felt bad for him. I really did. Because that offensive line was just
lost
horrible.
against what's a generally mediocre defensive line.
Not just generally mediocre. I mean, one of the worst in the league.
Yeah. Like Dunlap's been decent for them, but outside of that,
nothing. Exactly.
Yeah,
and they just acquired Dunlap.
Yeah. And that defense, which is weird to say because they used to have one of the best, which might go down as one of the best of all time, Legion of Boom. But their secondary gave up so many yards through every single week. Like in fantasy, whenever you had a receiver or quarterback, it said the matchups. It always said 32nd for Seattle, and on defense, they were on pace to be one of the worst air defenses I think ever. Like ever. Right next to Dallas.
Exactly.
But we're not going to take cheap shots at Dallas because they're just marginally worse than us.
Yeah.
But by like this much.
Yeah.
But we all suck. All of the NFC's teams suck. So we can't make fun of the team without a name because they're winning football games.
I don't understand how Alex Smith has been so great.
Yeah.
I really don't. I mean, I've genuinely been really impressed with him and that defense. I think if anybody is going to win that division, as crazy as it sounds for me to have the sentence come out of my mouth, it should be that team.
Because their defensive line is fantastic, and 2 out of the 3 remaining teams in the division have god awful defensive lines. Like Dallas doesn't have like 3 of their main starters, like Tyron Smith. I think Zach Martin is like being moved around. Frederick retired, so
and they got so many guys on IR. Period.
Yeah,
I mean,
and our line starting Matt Pryor and Mailata. So I mean, that goes without saying. I mean, Andrew Thomas has been terrible, but they still have decent players like Kevin Zeitler and like Will Hernandez, and we don't have. I mean, Jason Kelsey. As much as it hurts me to say, he's been rough. He's been rough.
I mean, the last couple weeks.
Yeah, a lot of box snaps, which is really weird from All Pro. But I mean, I'm not really going to complain because it could have been so much worse if we had someone else in. But
he has been playing hurt, and the most impact made out of by a center in the NFL for sure, even with the play. But I think we should have a discussion about Carson now.
Yeah, like I think that goes hand in hand with Kelsey. Like there's no way he's playing 100%, like 100% healthy. If he's just terrible, I would be surprised, but I wouldn't. No, I would be disappointed, but not surprised.
Yeah,
because he's regressed so far, so unbelievably hard. Like he couldn't have sustained more than a concussion, and that like it has to be like his general mechanics are just so like I saw like some. I'm not gonna plug it because this guy's like 100. Like
the YouTube, the fall of Carson Wentz. Yep.
His form, like you need to have your leg like straight, and his is like
his are wide. Yep.
He's like doing a split, and then so that just makes the throws just like so. And we were laughing. We're doing that Miles throw like last
Yep.
year, like
Yep.
into the. And now
We have one every week.
yeah, it's like it's normal here, but
Yeah.
I I've been preaching Jalen Hurts just play, just give him a shot because it's a lost season. Like it's not.
I
Good now the division's close, but at least split the snaps and not just tease us with him.
I agree. I think it is a tougher decision than people are willing to make it out to
Yeah,
be. Because I mean, I think somebody on Twitter, said it best. Carson Wentz is paid too much to get benched.
yeah. Like
Like,
you can't afford that. It's
yeah,
like Brock Osweiler when he was in Houston, or like just those really bad contracts. Like
yeah.
I understand it, but you have to at least give Jalen Hurts like more snaps because even though it was like nothing of value, of genuine value, because I mean you didn't even get him involved that much.
Well, and I mean, when you have the pedigree that Jalen Hurts does
Yeah.
have,
He's a very
like you're
talented
coming
player.
in as that Oklahoma quarterback who finished second in the Heisman, as that Alabama quarterback who won a national championship.
Yeah,
Um, you have to,
at least consider
consider
it.
that. Exactly.
Like, you don't have to bench Carson because I know
Yeah.
Doug's too much of a coward to do it. Sorry, but you just need to at least give him some more opportunities to see if we get flashes that make him worthy of more of an involvement in the offense. Because if you're running out Carson all these plays, I don't know if it was a serious injury. I don't think it mattered, but Carson Wentz was like holding his arm like his leg, like
Yeah.
during like in between plays, and it seemed just if he's hurt, I mean, we know the Philly medical staff across the board is terrible.
Yep.
Like the Sixers and Joel Embiid and all of our offensive line is just. It seems like we have 52 Tyrod Taylor situations, but
I wouldn't go that far. But yeah, I mean, from Doug Peterson
the play
again
calling has been terrible.
to be making decisions that he is with Jalen Hurts and with the play calling. I agree. Is just ridiculous. Miles Sanders got 6 snaps last night.
Yeah,
6. He got
someone
handed the
who has
ball. Well, not
been
6 snaps, but handed the ball 6 times.
yeah, who has generally been one of the more effective running backs in the league, like
Yeah.
yardage wise. Like not he doesn't have like James Robinson like 1,000 yards or
He had
like
a top 5 yards per carry in the
yeah.
NFL going into this game.
And with a defense that mediocre, there's no. I mean, I get that the line is just trash,
Yeah.
but at least give him some touches. Like
Well,
there's no reason not to because he's like genuinely the. I guess he's the best player on our offense at this point.
he is the best player on offense. With
Yeah,
Ertz out, I mean,
yeah.
I don't even
And
know
Eric
if I'd
is
put
even
Ertz over him.
and Eric's is honestly with his ability to be on, even when he's on the field, he hasn't been that much of an impact. I mean, Goddard was fine. Richard
Yeah.
Rodgers has somehow been like a top 5 player for us. He caught that Hail Mary at the end. Even though that means nothing, but
That was
it was
disgusting.
garbage time. But
That was disgusting.
he
It
has
got
an
me
extra
fancy.
for catching Hail Marys, which is weird.
Yeah.
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 There's not much else to say. Like if we're starting, what is it? Yeah, John Hightower.
Were we starting John Hightower?
I know he was in for a decent amount of
Yeah.
snaps.
Yeah.
And Rieger did nothing. I don't think he did anything. I think he had a few catches, maybe.
I mean, this whole offensively, it's just so dry.
Yeah.
It really is. Like, Doug, we can make jokes about the little screens and the going for it on 4th down all we want. But this man can't even consistently figure out coverages.
Yeah.
And just, run the football and, flow with the pace of the game. It seems like, once we get to the 3rd quarter, this team completely abandons the run. It's been like that for 3 years. And, for that to continue to occur when you have this guy who has developed into a top 10, top 15 running back, I truly believe that.
Mm-hmm.
It's disappointing and honestly disgusting.
Yeah. Wait, let me just pull this up. This defense allowed 400 yards from Cam Newton. They're talking about the Seahawks, not us.
Yeah.
And you don't even. I mean, I get that Carson Wentz's hero ball is really stupid, just chucking it up and just hoping for the best, which is idiotic.
But Doug isn't helping him. That's
Yeah,
the
but when
problem.
you have deep threats like Rieger and like
Yeah.
tolerable receivers, like I don't want to say tolerable because it seems mean, but like good receivers like Fulgham, and you just don't even like attempt to mess with that coverage. Like I guess I get that Jamal Adams is probably a top 2 safety in the league.
Yeah.
But who else on that defense are you really scared of? Like, I mean, Bobby Wagner, he did have some good plays on a Goddard, but with the receivers, like, we're lined up against what is it, like Quandre Diggs,
Exactly.
and Shaquem Griffin's decent, but like, you gotta try.
Yeah.
Doug Peterson just been checked out since I guess the Bengals game. He's just not just his play calling just regressed.
I don't know. I mean, was he even checked in the Bengals game?
Yeah, and to be honest,
Has he
yeah,
been checked in this season?
now we think about it, this is the only reason we aren't a poverty franchise, even though kind of are right now. The only reason the Eagles have won its championship in the past 70, 80 years is because of Frank Reich. Like that play calling and not leaving it on Doug is why we won a Super Bowl.
Yep.
And we had good offensive weapons that were veterans, but
And look what he did in Indianapolis with Philip Rivers.
Yeah, Philip Rivers is not a particularly great quarterback, but with that three-headed monster, it's weird three-headed monster, but I don't want to say that. But Jordan Wilkins, Nyheim Hines, and Jonathan Taylor have been all pretty serviceable.
Exactly.
T.Y. Hilton hasn't even gotten that much action, but you use like Michael Pittman and Zach Pascal, like ton of okay. He's not working with a lot on offense. Like
there's not a superstar on that offense for sure.
I mean, I get the defense is really good, even though they did get smacked by Tennessee. But that Indy team is like X miles better than us, which is so weird.
It is.
Because since now we have all these like 4th, 5th, 6th round receivers that are worthless on any other roster. We've just overpaid Alshon, so we can't move him because like nobody wants that contract, and we can't draft any good receivers because we've already drafted some before, like Whiteside and Rieger, so we can't like. We need to get Jamar Chase or Rashad Bateman or Devontae Smith or Jalen Waddle. We have to get one of those guys. It's like unless you desperately think, oh, we need a new lineman. Like if
I mean, I wouldn't mind a player in the secondary. I really wouldn't mind a corner.
If you get like Farley, like that's fine.
Yeah.
But if you get like a project lineman on, especially a defensive lineman, that's like peak Howie Roseman.
Well, and I mean, we can talk about the draft. I mean, that's again with this theme of complacency. I mean, we've been drafting not for need, but for luxury at this point. Like, I mean, if you're not going to use Jalen Hurts, what's the point? Arcega-Whiteside was basically a glorified Alshon. Yeah. Like, and some of these picks are just stupid.
Yeah, and Barnett, I think we traded up for him, and that was it. That was a year we had everybody. We had Vinny Curry in his prime, Brandon Graham. We had like our defensive line was set, and like we could have drafted D-end like next year instead of like 2017, 2018. But it's hard to be excited when you have a top 10 pick when you see how Roseman is drafted. I'm pretty sure on the during the game they said, like it seems like ESPN just wants to like hurt us because they were like, during the past like 8 years the Eagles have drafted one Pro Bowler and that's Carson, and Carson is we know
not a Pro Bowler. We'll say that
anymore. Yeah, he's just as much a Pro Bowler as Mitch was. Mitch he was a Pro Bowler. It's weird, but yeah. I don't like if somehow the tackle from Oregon falls, which he won't. He'll go like top 3, unless we just keep losing. I'll take a generational line talent. considering that we're starting Mailata and Matt Pryor and Sumalo, and I assume at least one of the core four linemen are going to retire at the end
I
of the
mean, I wouldn't be surprised.
like
Honestly.
as much as it would hurt, I can honestly see
I
Kelsey
mean,
being like, yeah,
Peters is gonna retire, but Kelsey was talking about walking away from the game a year ago, and now
yeah,
with this injury, which has seemed to been affecting him all season,
yeah,
I mean, I wouldn't be surprised, honestly. And Lane Johnson, I mean, we're talking about a season ending. I mean, we don't know if he's ever going to be the same
yeah.
with
And
that
Brandon
ACL,
Brooks
MCL.
Achilles, it's like,
Yeah.
and
Brandon Brooks will be back.
yeah, he should be fine.
Be back.
But
Yeah.
Jason Kelsey being thrown into a fire, honestly, if I were him, I would have just said, I'm done. Just
Yeah.
like if you're putting me into this terrible situation, you're just expecting me at like, how old is he, like 35, 36 to,
Four, I think. Yeah.
yeah, he's generally old, like
Yeah.
like for a lineman. But
Yeah.
you need to, you shouldn't, like, we've gotten to a point where we can't, we've regressed to the point where we don't need High Roseman anymore.
Yep.
Because all the contracts are just that they've been thrown out. The draft picks have been made. They've all been trash.
Yep.
And now we're in like the worst spot we've been in since Mark Sanchez was our starting quarterback and Sam Bradford.
Yep. Yep. It's rock bottom.
Yeah.
It really is. And I mean, we can look forward to more great depressing takes as we face the Packers next Sunday.
Yeah, the only hope for us
Go
is
on the road
we
against
somehow beat them
Aaron
last year,
Rodgers.
but that's
Well,
what we can say.
that's a different
We're
thing.
just a weird fluke, like pick. I think it was Brado, but like whatever.
Yeah. No, it wasn't Bradham. It was it was that practice squad guy.
Jeez.
Ah,
Yeah, it's
yeah.
whatever. But
It's always a practice squad guy.
there's always a practice. Like, okay, yeah, Harry Roseman needs to go.
Yep.
Doug Peterson should go, but
No, it's not going to. Howie Roseman
yeah.
should go, but it's not going to. This is the point. I mean,
yeah,
this leads us back to Lurie.
yeah.
I mean, I know he's
Same
upset.
complacency argument.
Exactly. I mean, when this money is being thrown out and the owner is allowing this, I mean, obviously Jeffrey Lurie enjoyed the Super Bowl. We all did.
Yeah.
I think, honestly, none of us expected this downturn.
No.
And I
Probably
think
be good, like
we
for more.
should have, though.
Yeah.
I mean, with the way we've gone into the final stretch in these past two seasons, like I said, with losing records and just won these games against division opponents, I mean, we could do it again this year, but should that give us hope? No, it really shouldn't. And this team is one that needs to be rebuilt.
Yeah.
Really.
Like, yeah, even if we fire someone, it's not like I don't see a candidate that's like, oh, we need him, or like we're not gonna get an OC because Houston's calling all the plays.
Kansas City guy. The Kansas City guy is amazing.
We're just gonna consistently keep getting Kansas City at quarterback.
Well, yeah. I mean, that's a fair point.
Yeah, but we're gonna be in perpetual nostalgia hell for about 3-4 more years.
I'm telling you, man. I watch the Brandon Graham sack every month. It's
it's so hard in the city. Like the Sixers. I mean, you have a reason to be excited.
Yeah, you have reason. I'm honestly very excited for the upcoming season. I mean, yeah.
And then the Phillies, they're gonna lose JT.
Yeah, and they're gonna be.
And then they're gonna suck because you can't. You already thrown out Bryce Harper against the Wolves.
Yeah.
For nothing.
Yeah.
The Marlins like 10 times a year. And then the Flyers. I mean, the Flyers are good, but nobody wants to watch that. No.
Brutal honesty from the Broad Street Benchwarmers podcast.
And we're not gonna go to like WIP random colors extremes of like losing our minds, but
I think we
we're keeping it in for a little bit.
Yeah.
And to the few people that I've seen in a comment section saying fire Doug Peterson, retain Orlovsky, you're insane. The quarterback for the 0-16 Lions is not a worthy. Okay, even though he's a GOAT, that's the equivalent to the Knicks hiring Stephen A. Smith as their GM.
Yeah.
It's like I don't know where his team is going.
Or like a Max Kellerman.
Yeah,
It's ridiculous.
Like I know Steve
Skip Bayless, Shannon Sharp.
Yeah, Skip Bayless for OCU of the Cowboys.
Cowboys. Yeah, you can't do it.
I guess are we gonna
do power rankings?
We can just go quick.
Okay. All right. So do you want me to start?
Yeah, we're gonna go 32 to 26. I guess.
Yeah.
We're just, I don't know. We're just gonna.
We're throwing it out. Yep. 32 New York Jets. Obviously the worst team in football. Would not be surprised if they went 0-16 after this week. They're just horrible. 31 the Cincinnati Bengals. I love Joe Burrow, and it really sucks. But I'm not looking forward to watching more Brandon Allen after Sunday. Jacksonville Jaguars actually put up a great fight against Cleveland this weekend. That was a fantastic game. I moved them up a little bit.
Resurgence.
Yeah, I mean, once Minshew comes back, honestly, I think that could be a contender for some upsets. Yeah.
They're one right now,
but still. 29, I got the Dallas Cowboys. This makes me happy, even though it really shouldn't.
We can't
feed
off of that for too long.
Yeah.
We've been over our grievances.
Exactly. They would be so much better without the injuries. I do think, though. I think they would be near the top of this division for sure. Number 28, the Los Angeles Chargers. Just continuing to blow the leads. I love Anthony Lynn, but I can't see any reason why you would keep him in this job at this point. But Justin Herbert is still the stud he was at the beginning of the season. Number 27, the Denver Broncos. Quarterback, Kendall Hinton, we can't really say anything. We can't really judge them off of that. The NFL kind of screwed them in a way that they did not screw the Ravens, which is kind of unfair.
Yeah, we need to move Baltimore and Pittsburgh to Wednesday.
And
you just throw the Broncos into the fire against Super Bowl contenders.
I'm going to miss the whole game. Yeah. Number 26, we have us.
Yeah.
Yep. And you have just heard 30 minutes of us ranting also.
Yeah, so you shouldn't hear anymore. All right. So I go 32 to 26. I'll try to make it as quick as possible. The Jets, they suck. They don't deserve any attention. 31, I mean, just because of their record, I think the Bengals are slightly worse, but the Jaguars, just the trajectory of the season, as much as it hurts me to say, because James Robinson seems like a cool guy.
Yeah.
If he was on any other team, he would be me.
Well, yeah, he is getting the bulk of the carries.
Yeah. If you put Boston Scott on the Jaguars, you'd probably be just good.
I don't know about that one, but
yeah, it's just if you put okay running backs on teams that I think Boston Scott's below average. I was just
yeah. Well, when you're getting that production,
when you get insert mediocre player on a bad team with no options, then you're gonna be good.
Yeah.
Let's see. When Devontae Matthews is 20.
Yeah.
Even though he's a cool guy. 30, the Bengals, they suck. Brandon Allen. No fantasy positivity because Tyler Boyd's going to be catching passes and T. Higgins are catching passes from Brandon Allen. Yep. And that defense is not good. They should go for a lineman or a defensive lineman, either one. Because
offensive, I think they should take Penny. I think they should take the Oregon kid.
Yeah, if he's available, I don't know. Yeah, because the Jags are going to finish probably with the worst record. I'm not sure.
That's true
because they're 1-10, and I don't see them. They'll be in close games. I don't see them getting any better, like marginally better. But
I don't know, bro. Once
yeah,
Minshew comes back, I
yeah.
can see.
29, the Chargers hurts. Very really hurts. But I mean,
Yeah.
Eckler's back, so maybe they'll get a
So,
little better because Eckler had a really good game. But
uh,
the play calling this from Anthony Lynn is reaching Doug Peterson levels.
oh, I think it's beyond that.
Yeah, it's
Yeah. I love Anthony Lynn. I loved him on Hard
yeah, he
Knocks.
seems
So
like a really like I'm just gonna keep saying like he seems like a chill guy, but like he's not a good coach. But 28 Cowboys, you can't give up what was it like 36 fantasy points to Antonio Gibson
yeah,
on your home field.
yeah. On Thanksgiving,
Yeah,
yeah.
which is where you shine. I know
Yep.
Murray had like a ridiculous game last year, but they,
Josh Allen.
they suck. They suck.
Yep.
27, us. We suck.
Um,
You already know that.
yeah.
26, the Broncos, only because they have like a one more win than us. Like under any other circumstances, they would be like a bottom 5 team. They'd be lower.
Yeah.
But I mean, Justin Simmons has been good.
Hmm?
Uh, Melvin
Their
Gordon,
line's good. I
yeah,
like their line.
yeah, their line's good. Judy's been fine. KJ Hamler, your boy.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's not a lot good to say for a Broncos fan. I think they came in with Drew Lock thinking it would be like what people expect out of Baker last year, just like a sophomore like resurgence, and like maybe,
Yeah.
like I thought they would be good, but once Cortland Sutton was out, I'm like, yeah, they're done.
Done.
But
Yep.
25, let's go 25 to like 18.
25. I'm gonna go the football team. Uh, I may be a little lower on them than other people are. I think that win against Dallas, um, until they really took it away, they didn't look great in the first half. But like I said, the most fun team probably in this division right now.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't say I look forward to watching them because I still want my Birds to win the division. But they're a fun team. Number 24, I have Detroit. Probably the worst Thanksgiving Day game, just a real slip for them.
Yeah.
I don't know what's going on with that offense, and I'm glad they fired Matt Patricia. I'll say that. Number 23, I have the New York Giants. A lot more fun than I thought they were going to be. The Daniel Jones injury really sucks, but their run defense has gotten way better, and Daniel Jones has been way better, believe it or not.
Yeah.
So, yeah, improvement for them. Number 22, I have the Carolina Panthers. Teddy Bridgewater and his team, although he was hurt for a couple weeks, have kind of slipped off a little bit. Almost took it to Minnesota, but I think that secondary is a little weak. That is something they can shore up in the offseason. Number 21, I have the Atlanta Falcons after a huge win over the Las Vegas. I'm sorry, Raiders. They offensively look fantastic. Defensively played the best they have so far this season. I mean, obliterating Derek Carr in my fantasy league. So, yeah, we'll see what goes from here. They could again another upset potential.
So.
Yeah, they play the Saints this week. That could be an upset watch, honestly. Houston at number 20. Again, did not play a great Thanksgiving game. Kind of let that lead slip a little bit in garbage time. But good for them. I think they've won 3 of the last 4 or something like that. So keeping that streak rolling. 19, we got the Chicago Bears. Just looked lost on Sunday Night Football offensively once again, even with Trubisky starting instead of Nick Foles. Kyle Trask.
Or like, yeah. Zach Wilson. I don't know.
Zach Wilson, yeah. Number 18, to finish it off, I have the Minnesota Vikings. Solid enough. Get a good win.
Nice,
I mean, they are in wild card position, as crazy as that sounds.
I mean, we did both say they'd be like 11-5.
11-5, yeah.
So it makes us like feel a little less bad.
Kirk Cousins has been a lot better. I'll say that. I will say that.
All right. So 25-18, 25 Detroit Lions. My guy Matt Stafford finally freed from the hell that is coaching. That is playing under Matt Patricia, and you lost without Galladay and DeAndre Swift. So I don't think it's that big of a deal that you lost to Houston, but I mean you're still a bad team. Like unfortunately, 24 of the football team. It's weird to see them not as like one of the worst teams in the league.
I agree.
But I mean, you did bring it to Dallas. Like Antonio Gibson, Terry McLaurin, Alex Smith, and that defense. Like overall, like actually pretty good.
Yeah.
Like we expected Ron Rivera to coach that defense pretty well, and it's kind of panned out. Like
Yeah.
we are at 4-7. We expect them to be like not even get this many wins at this point at all. So give credit. If you're without a name in the playoffs, I wouldn't be surprised. But at 23 of the Panthers,
Wow, you have the Panthers lower than me.
Yeah, if McCaffrey was back, they would be better by a lot.
Yeah.
Definitely the case. Like I think their offense is still pretty good with Mike Davis and Robbie Anderson, DJ. Like DJ Moore has kind of fallen off a little bit, which is why I traded him in fantasy in like all my leagues because I knew that was a fluke. But the defense I think is just individually good. Like there is no collective like quality. Like Jeremy Chin is like I think he's a top 3 contender when it comes to defensive rookie of the year. Like he had 2 defensive touchdowns on 2 straight snaps against Minnesota.
Mm-hmm.
He's generally
I totally agree. Him and Chase Young, honestly.
You got Brian Burns, you got Derek Brown. Like you have a good future, but for now y'all kind of suck. I'm sorry. 22 of the Bears, they've fallen off the cliff. 5-1 to 5-6, I think that's acceptable. Like they looked really good, which is weird at the beginning of the season. Now looking at them now, they just suck. Like their offense is not good. Their defense is a little better, but still not good. Like even though you have all those amazing players like Eddie Jackson, Kyle Fuller, Khalil Mack, but generally it means nothing if you're getting smacked by the Packers.
Well, and I mean offensively it's just so bad.
Yeah, just
like it's just
to get a big game receiver or just a decent enough quarterback.
Yeah.
Okay, 21 the Falcons. We're very impressed. Young Wake who got me like 20 points in like a few leagues.
Sheesh.
Bring up fantasy because that's I pay more attention to that than the Eagles at this point.
Oh my god.
The Raiders, I've been high on them most of the season. Like I've been impressed with Derek Carr for some reason. Like I think the resurgence of Nelson Aguilar too. But the Falcons, I think without Dan Quinn, they're not as unbearable to watch.
Well, they're not blowing leads,
like, sure, 20.
Yeah.
The Giants, that they're not this good. Like, if you look at 20, like, there's 12 teams worse than them. Like, right, 20 through about 25 are all just bad teams.
Yeah.
Like, you beat Brandon Allen. You lose Daniel Jones. You might have Colt McCoy this week. Like, you're not a good team.
No.
You don't have Saquon. Your offensive line is generally bad. Your defense is fine. But the Giants are not a good team. And same thing goes for the Texans. Beat the Lions because they lost Will Fuller due to PEDs. And a day later, they lost Bradley Roby due to PEDs.
How does that even?
So if you have Brandon Cooks, start him this week.
Yeah.
I don't think we're doing much fantasy stuff anymore, but start Brandon Cooks.
Yeah.
Because there's what is like TQQT. They're number 2 receiver right now. Because I'm pretty sure Randall Cobb's out and Kenny Stills. So like for free, Deshaun Watson. That's all I'm gonna say.
Yeah.
The 18, the Pats. I know you probably got them higher, but
I do.
They're very hard to watch. Cam Newton, we overrated him from the start. He's not what we thought he could have been with Bill Belichick, but defense. I mean, they did.
Defense is fun.
The defense was actually pretty good against Kyler and
Yeah.
Hopkins, and I mean Kenyon Drake had a few touchdowns, but like whatever.
That secondary is still great. I truly believe that.
But outside of that, there's not a lot of positives because their expectations were so high because of what they were right before this. But I mean, when you have this team, I think it's tolerable enough.
Yeah.
I guess
I mean, they really do have a loss of talent in comparison.
17-11, and let's go like 10-5, and then 5-1.
Okay, I have a mid-power rankings breaking news for you.
What?
The NBA Christmas Day schedule has been released.
I was gonna pull it up and like.
Are we gonna do live react? Can we do live reactions to that?
Yeah, sure. Let me scroll back to Woj.
Okay.
These games are actually all pretty good.
New Orleans, Miami, which I think is really good.
Yeah.
If New Orleans is fine. I mean, I'm a little disappointed that we're not playing Christmas Day, to be honest.
Yeah, I would have wanted for the Celtics, but
yeah,
because there's no. I'm pretty sure Kemba's going to be out, so like I'll take a free win against Boston, but
Golden State, Milwaukee is fun.
Yeah.
Brooklyn and Boston.
If they're wearing the city jersey, that'll be rough. Seeing those blue against.
Oh, those blue jerseys against the.
Unless they do orange, so like and then maybe it's like a white one, but.
Well, it'd be blue against blue. Yeah, that wouldn't work.
But what else?
Brooklyn and Boston.
Yeah, I hope the Pelicans game everyone's healthy because it was weird seeing like Lonzo against the world.
Yeah.
But Nets Celtics, I think it'll be a good game, even though they're not getting James Harden.
Now. But I mean, still, that's Eastern Conference.
Like KD and Kyrie is still a very good duo. Like they're not gonna suck because they don't have a top 3 player in the league. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
But Boston without
Kemba should be interesting.
Anyway, I think that'll be kind of rough because
I think they're starting Grant Williams too.
Yeah, so we lose Gordon Hayward, which we joked about a lot. But if you don't have him or Kemba, you're starting Marcus Smart and Grant Williams.
Yeah.
And I guess Tice or Thompson, like that's not a particularly amazing team.
No.
But if I guess you could, that makes Tatum just go. It'll make more opportunities for Tatum. But Mavs Lakers might be the.
I'm surprised it's not Lakers Clippers again. But Mavs Lakers is fine. Yeah. I mean, fun.
Sure. I'll enjoy seeing Luke against LeBron, but it would probably be an easy win for the Lakers. To be honest.
Honestly, yeah.
The Clippers Nuggets is also.
Clippers Nuggets is great.
Yeah.
I mean the rematch.
The revenge game for the playoffs.
Yeah, for playoff P.
Oh god, we're gonna do a city jerseys video in a little bit, but those red Nuggets rainbow, that's rough.
Yeah.
Yeah, seeing that against the black, like GTA sort of style, the Clippers would be rough.
Yeah.
Well, the gold Mavs, like it's not gonna be fun.
But those blue Lakers ones are great. So I will say that.
And can't wait for the banner our Boston Celtics.
Okay.
The Boston so like it's whatever.
Yeah.
Well, I think most of the jerseys are out, so
soon enough. Yeah.
We might just drop a video like soon. So like season's it's December now, so camp's literally just started. So we'll
be on the lookout.
Yeah,
we will be here. All right. So
what are we at? 17 to 10.
17. I have the Pats. I actually thought I had them a lot higher. I kind of like this team. I really do. I love the way that defense played, like I said. But we'll see moving forward. 16, I have the Raiders. Tough blowout. Really tough blowout. But I still think this is a solid enough team. 15, I have Niners. Getting healthy. From those injuries, honestly.
Yeah, I think Mostert back helps.
Yeah.
Richard Sherman. Yeah, I think. Like they're not a playoff team because that NFC West is too stacked.
Yeah, but I think they can come
They're
close.
above average considering
Yeah,
how terrible most of these teams are.
yeah, they could definitely come close. I truly believe that.
Mhm.
14, I have the Dolphins. Um, that Broncos loss was obviously terrible, but
Good job. You beat the Jets, so
to come back this week, yeah,
you beat the Jets.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. And it was close. That's really the sad part. But
yeah.
well, number 13, I have the Ravens. Never did I expect going into the season. I
They're
mean, these are
just
obviously quote
mediocre.
unquote pick at the beginning of the season.
Yeah.
Um, I did not think I would have them this low, but Lamar Jackson has not really fit with his offense, with his arm. Defense has been solid, though. I will say
Yeah.
that.
Hmm.
Number 12, I have the Cleveland Browns. I just hate watching this team so much. I really do. I told you before, like, this is probably my least favorite team to watch in the NFL right now. With
Other than
you know,
us. But
best, yeah, other than us. But yeah, they're still have a good record. I think they'll be a first round bounce, but we'll see. 11, I have Arizona, and big fall
yeah,
from
I
I
don't
think.
think the loss is that big of a deal, but they're still a good team. They're still a very
Yeah,
good
but losing two in a row is a lot, though, and
team.
that defense hasn't looked good in either of them,
Yeah,
especially.
Isaiah Simmons, he was my guy, and now he's just making dumb decisions.
Yeah,
He had I think it was necessary roughness that like sealed the game.
yeah,
Like
and I mean they
that was
missed that chip shot field goal too.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, and Zane Gonzalez, but
yeah,
Kyler's kind of cooling off, kind
yeah,
of. But I mean, when you're facing the secondary, I don't think you can make that much of a reaction. But
yeah.
they're still a good team.
I agree. Um, Number 10, I have the Indianapolis Colts, and
Yeah.
we
They're
talked about Frank Reich. This really hurts.
yeah, because you can't get smacked like that and just yeah.
Yeah, but defense is still really good. I still love what he's doing with the weapons he has offensively,
Mhm.
and I still definitely think they'll be a playoff team.
Yeah.
Oh,
So
well,
17, we're starting 17, right?
yep.
Okay, 17, the Vikings. It's a fluke win. You beat the Panthers by one. Like you're winning games now, which is good. But like generally, they're just okay. 16, the Raiders. I again, I just think I said this a little earlier. They've
Yeah,
generally been a pretty good team, but
yeah. I mean, taking it to the
losing
Chiefs.
to a team without two of their top three skill position players on offense, you just it's unacceptable.
Yeah.
So at 15, Niners again they're getting healthy. Richard Sherman, Raheem Mostert, Devo Samuel's back, I think. So
Yeah, he is. Yeah, he's been fantastic.
I mean the Rams are a good team, so I'm impressed by them beating them. So
Yeah.
yeah, 14 the Dolphins, like 6 wins. Congratulations. I didn't expect them to
Seven.
be yeah. Oh, 7. Yeah.
Seven. 7-4.
Yeah. So they genuinely could be a wild card team, which is
Yeah.
something none of us
Dang.
expected. But here we are. 13, I got the Cardinals. Kyler, I started him in fantasy. I'm like, he's the number one quarterback in fantasy, so I don't need anybody else. Like,
Yeah, I started Zane Gonzalez, so.
and just mediocre offensive performance from that team and defensively.
Yeah.
Lose to inferior competition with number one receiver Jacoby Myers. So I'm disappointed, but I think they'll get back soon enough.
Yeah. Their schedule's easy.
12, the Ravens. We're recording this before the Pittsburgh game. We assume it's going to be close enough. Even if they win, I don't think they're going to be a ton better. And I
Yeah.
don't think the Steelers get a ton of worse if they beat the Ravens. But Lamar Jackson has not been good. The line has been generally terrible.
Yo.
Receivers have. I mean, you need to get Lamar a number one receiver. Like Hollywood Brown just can't cut it. I'm sorry.
Yo.
But I mean, the defense has been good. Patrick Queen, Marlon Humphrey, Marcus Peters, Ngakwe, Calais Campbell. Like that's a
Tony Jefferson?
yeah,
Yeah.
a very good defense.
Yeah.
So yeah, they're bailing them out at this point.
Pretty
But
much.
at 11, you got the Rams. I think the loss against the Niners kind of hurts me. Like kind of hurts their chances a little bit. But they're still a good team. I think I think before the Seattle game, they had the division, which is weird.
Yeah.
But Jared Goff has been decent. Aaron Donald with Myles Garrett being out for a little bit due to Corona. I think he's probably the defensive player of the year right now.
Myles Garrett?
Not yeah, no,
Oh,
Aaron Donald.
okay. Yeah, I agree.
So I mean
He's
your
right.
offense has been good. Cooper Kupp, Robert Woods, the fantasy buffs known as Darrell Henderson and Cam Akers.
Yeah.
Been
Cam
generally
Akers in the
good.
4th round.
Yeah. So, but at 10 we got the Colts. Rough offense to watch, but very talented defense. So I mean, I think that loss definitely hurts them because if you had that division lead and home field advantage, I think they would chill and like coast because they're playing the Texans and the Jaguars in the division. So I think the only threat, yeah, like when they, I know Tennessee's a very good team. Like you won't hear me say them for a little bit, which means like one of the best teams in the league to me. But
Yo.
Indy, just draft a quarterback, maybe. Or
Please.
receiver, please. Okay.
We'll give you Carson.
Yeah. We'll
If
give
you're
you
interested.
for a first, two firsts. Just unless it consummates the cap.
We'll
But
give you Carson for a second.
yeah, you just eat up all the salary. Yeah. Sure.
Yeah.
Like Al Horford. Okay,
It's
9 through 6, and then just your top 5.
Okay, bet. 9, I have the Rams. I mean, very solid team. Jared Goff, I think, has been underrated this season. I truly believe that.
Yep.
And their defense, I mean, is probably top 5 in the NFL right now, honestly. Yeah.
I mean, when you have the best, when you have probably the best corner and the best defensive lineman.
Yeah, it's hard.
Yeah, there's no reason you can't be like elite.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. Is Peters better than? I mean, not Peter. Is Ramsey better than Jair Alexander?
I mean, yeah, the people that just compare. I mean, I think it's close between him and Jair Alexander and who else? Who am I? Let me look through. Like, let me scroll through. That's the teams to see like the most elite corners. Like, I think it's close. It's definitely close. But
I think Slay's up there too. Despite last night,
he's definitely not near there. Yeah. He's not like in the upper echelon, but he's still him and like Trey White and like Marlon Humphrey, I think.
Yeah.
Are like the elite quarterbacks. But I think the Rams, I expect them to be like fine. And they've been good. So
good. Yeah. I think we both said 7, 9, 8, and 8.
They're winning in cap hell, which is surprising because we are suffering in cap hell.
Hey, I mean, we know who was the better 2016 draft pick. That's all I'll say.
Yeah.
Number 8, I have Tampa Bay. Tom has been, inconsistent, and the defense especially has been. I think they really blew that game with that secondary. But still a great offense. Rojo just blows me away every week. Still a solid team, definitely.
Yeah.
Number 7, I have the Buffalo Bills. I talked about how much I hated watching this team, and now all of a sudden they've become very fun to watch over the past couple of weeks. Yeah, to be honest. Offensively, Josh Allen's got it going. So we'll see if it continues. I mean, up and down, obviously, throughout the season. The running game needs to get up there, though. Singletary.
Zach Moss. I'm never drafting them again. That's all I'm saying.
Number 6, I have the Tennessee Titans. A little low compared to you. I assume you have them high.
Yeah.
But
a few spots on here.
Yeah, I have not been impressed since, the past couple of weeks. I was impressed with their win last week. Derrick Henry is obviously an absolute monster, as we've known throughout the season. And that defense can be suspect, but is solid enough. Mm-hmm. I think they're come playoff time, that linebacker core can step in, and their D-line needs to step up if they're going to beat a high-quality team. But yeah.
Okay, so 9 to where am I starting? Yeah, 9-6. Okay,
6, yeah.
9 of the Browns. I know you hate them, but they're 8-3, which is insane.
Yo,
Like I'm pretty sure their point differential is -21. they're they're 5
ridiculous.
games above 500. But Nick Chubb, he's been on a tear. Same thing with Jarvis Landry. Baker has actually been consistently better. Like he hasn't been turning the ball over as much as I thought he would be. And
Yeah.
even
I
without
mean,
Myles
they're
Garrett,
kind of babying him.
they've still been good, like defensively. Like Olivier Vernon,
Yeah.
I mean, he killed us, but that goes without saying because
Yeah.
it's mine. But
Us. Yeah.
number 8, the Bucks, very disappointed against KC. I thought it would be a close game. It kind of was at the end. Like they got
Yeah.
some points just to recoup the loss, but I had a lot of confidence in their secondary, and then Carlton Davis happened and
Yo.
got absolutely killed by Tyreek Hill. One of probably one of the best offensive performances by a receiver in the past 10, 15 years.
Yeah. I
Or
mean,
20 or 25.
280 yards. Yeah.
Yeah, like 3 touchdowns. Like
Yeah.
you cannot allow that.
He had one of the best performances by a receiver in the first quarter. That's all I'll say.
Yeah. It's just insane. Like your defense is still good, like individually. Like you still have Devin White and Levante David and Shaq Barrett and Vita Vea, and secondary is generally good. Like, I mean,
Yeah.
I know
Tends to happen.
I didn't bring them as far down because it is KC. Like
Yeah.
they are few and far between, probably the most elite air offense in the league. So
Yeah.
I can't like I can't overreact because
Yeah.
there's going to be no playoffs. Like I'm not gonna be like, oh, Tom Brady is washed. I mean,
He was fine.
he's okay.
Yeah.
He's not showing to be as bad as he was last year,
Yeah.
but he's still a little disappointing considering the talent he has around him. But whatever.
Yeah.
7 Buffalo. Good win against the Chargers, even though it was a pretty free win when you
Yeah. When Anthony Lynn blows
yeah,
it like
that was
that.
really weird play calling at the end. But
Yeah.
Josh Allen really improving. I didn't expect it at all, but because I thought he was just going to be just really like really weird coming out of college, just a rocket arm, but it seemed to have no accuracy. But now
I compared him to Carson Wentz.
he is now a rich man's Carson Wentz. But that goes.
Yeah.
So 6, the Saints. I would have them higher, but these last few ones have just been very like unimpressive. Like you beat the Denver Broncos, who didn't have a quarterback. Like it's hard to like their defense has been a lot better than I expected them to be. Like Cam Jordan's playing as an All Pro, same with Lattimore, but outside of that, until they beat a playoff caliber team, like an elite playoff caliber team, I think they'll stay as a borderline top 5 team, but they'll
Tampa.
yeah. If they beat Tampa again or beat like
Well, they don't. They beat Tampa twice. They don't
yeah,
play them again. Yeah.
Saints schedule, like if they beat, they have a very easy schedule at the end. But if they somehow beat the Chiefs, then I'll be impressed. When they play Atlanta, us, Minnesota, and Carolina, I think they'll be set to maybe have like a top 2 seed in the NFC at this point.
They're gonna blow us out. That's all I'll say.
Yeah. Okay, top 5. There you go.
Top 5. Here we go. Number 5, I have Green Bay. Aaron Rodgers been fantastic as usual. That defense, secondary is still fantastic, but the D line has been suspect. Obviously, with the injuries there, it's going to be a little rougher, but still need to pick that up, especially with the run defense. Number 4, I have the Seattle Seahawks. Really unimpressive win against us, to be honest. I mean, we didn't really get to talk about it, but offensively,
Yeah, Russ was
we really limited Russ. Yeah, outside of DK, there wasn't much.
Yeah.
But still a great team.
Yeah.
I mean, we did a whole episode. Go check it out with Nico. About how that offense has really evolved over the years, and even though that defense is suspect, I still think they're a great team.
Yeah.
And Still maybe my Super Bowl pick. I don't know.
Yeah.
Number 3, I have New Orleans. Yeah, it's fine. Number 3, I have New Orleans. Drew Brees, until he comes back, I don't think we can really determine how great this team is. I think with Taysom Hill, they are limited in what they can do with offense. Kamara getting even more carries than he usually does. But still, I think a great team and probably the top team in the NFC right now for Indiana. Number 2, I have the Steelers. We'll see what happens tomorrow night.
Yeah.
But I think they, against Robert Griffin III, they will continue their undefeated streak.
Yeah.
And number 1, the Kansas City Chiefs.
Yeah.
Just I think we have to put this as one of the best offenses of all time at this point.
Yep.
So far this year. Mahomes is your MVP.
Yeah.
Mike
Sure. Yeah, I think Russ is kind of handed over to him at this point. But
Yep.
I mean, speaking of them, number 5 for me, I have the Seahawks. They've lost a few games like Arizona and was it LA? I think it might have been LA.
Yeah.
But when you beat the Eagles, it's the equivalent of like let's see analogy like Ohio State beating Rutgers. That's how low the Eagles have fallen.
Oh
So,
God.
I mean, Russell Wilson is still a very talented quarterback. I mean, obviously, but if you get contained, but I think other than DK, you had maybe less than 100 yards.
Yeah.
So just give it to Tyler Lockett more.
Yep.
He's a deep threat. Like he could have burned us just as much as DK could have. But number 4, the Titans. I know you had him. I think you had him a little lower. But
I had him. Yeah, I had number 6.
But their offense is just elite. Even though I think Derrick Henry is carrying this team generally, but Ryan Tannehill has been good. AJ Brown's been good.
AJ Brown's been a beast.
Yeah.
I mean, we talk about DK,
Yeah. But I think AJ Brown, just because he's not on a team as prolific as the Seahawks, because I mean you're in Tennessee as opposed to Seattle, it's just a very different market. Like if AJ Brown was on the Rams or I think he would be considered a top. He'd be considered just as good or better than DK. But I think
better. We'll say.
Yeah. I still think DK is better, but AJ Brown has been a beast. Defense has been generally pretty good. Kevin Byard and the secondary has been fine. Defensive line could be some help, but
it's a struggle. Yeah, Clowney needs to kick in.
Yeah. Number 3, the Packers. I think I have them way higher than you, but pissed off Aaron Rodgers is dangerous.
A bad man.
I didn't know if I'm but him and Aaron Jones and Devontae Adams, and I mean Marquez has kind of been decent, but that offense is just terrifying, especially against a great defense like the Bears. I would not be surprised if they somehow make it. I know they made it to the NFC Championship last year, but no, it doesn't even feel like they did.
No,
it's weird.
With the way San Francisco blew them out,
yeah. It didn't even seem like they were on a run to the NFC Championship, but
no.
They're still a very good team. I still think Seattle will come out of the NFC. I had them at 5, but since they have an easy schedule coming up, I think they will overtake the Packers. Yeah. Even if they are a lower seed, they'll still make it to the Super Bowl, but we'll see. Number 2, the Steelers. Again, we recorded this before the Wednesday afternoon football against the Ravens, but they're still very good. Yeah. Now they have no losses.
Yeah.
But I think it's
and it will continue that way.
Yeah, it's a little padded because you're playing the Bengals and the NFC East. But I still think they're an amazing team on both sides of the ball. Deontay, there's no true number 1. There's just been 3 insanely good. I don't think Juju's been on par, but 3 very good receivers. You got Juju, you got Claypool, and Deontay Johnson.
Yeah.
The running game hasn't been great with James Conner and Benny Snell, Anthony McFarland, but
good enough. I mean, I think they're top 10 in the NFL. Yeah.
The defense, you know how good they are. There's no hole on that. The secondary is elite. You got Minka, you got Joe Hayden, you got Charles Edmonds, and linebacking core is insane. You got T.J. Watt, you got Bud Dupree, you got Devin Bush, and then the defensive line stacked too. Even without Javon Hargrave, we thought this would be a steal, but well,
So sad.
number one, the Chiefs. I know that they lost against the Raiders, but they're the hottest team in the league right now. Just that the defense has been like, I think looking back like 2018, we thought their defense was trash. No, they're not going to get in with their defense. And then with Tyrann Mathieu and Frank, no, they're not Frank Clark. He's in. Do they? I think they might. But Chris Jones, and like that's a very good team. The offense, I mean, obviously, Patrick Mahomes, Travis Kelce, Tyreek Hill, McCole Hardman, Sammy Watkins, Clyde Edwards-Helaire, Le'Veon Bell. Like they have so many weapons, and their offensive line is pretty great. Mitchell Schwartz is probably the best lineman in the league, sort of. I don't know, but Chiefs. I said they would repeat at the beginning of the season, and that's looking to stay the case. So
that will change my case. Yep.
Yeah. So you'd be very surprised if you're still here because we've been recording for like an hour. But thanks for listening, and we'll be back with either some NBA stuff since camp starting or more NFL stuff if the Eagles lose again, which they will. But
fire Harry Roseman.
Yeah, fire Harry Roseman, fire Doug Peterson.